Hi guys. This is not the video that I planned on being my second one, but being that all of this is fairly new, I kind of wanted to try out a couple different things to see kind of what works moving forward. So this video is going to be a slightly different format from my last one. Based off of the last one, I actually came up with an idea for another one, and I started writing that last night around midnight, and I was up until... Actually, I started writing that, I think, around 11:30, and I was up until about 3:30 writing, and it's going to be a really long one. So I'm hoping to sit down and take some time to edit that one and do something more than just me talking to a camera. So anyway, without any more on that, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, let's bringing this brightness down just a little bit, because God, I am just like blown out from this. Hold on. And we're back. Sorry, my window was open over here and it was just bleaching out the side of my face. So anyway, what I was talking about was, what was I talking about? Anyway, what I was talking about is today I'm going to just kind of be ranting a little bit about this discourse that I've seen online, primarily from centrists and progressive lights, about purity testing. What is purity testing? Purity testing has become a very popular talking point for people who manage to support candidates with unfortunate histories. What do I mean by that? What I mean is a lot of Warren supporters recently have gone on the defensive about purity testing because for a while early on in her career and in much of her career, she was a Republican. She was, for a period of time, anti-LGBTQ. And so a lot of Bernie supporters, like myself, have been quick to point out that Bernie has a better record on progressive issues. To which people cry, nobody's perfect. Stop purity testing. Okay, that's fair, okay? But purity testing actually serves a very important role when it comes to politics. So what do I mean by that? Firstly, I mean that... I need to bring my thumb over here. Firstly, I mean that purity testing is not really about testing the purity of somebody. It's about testing the integrity of that individual and making an informed decision based upon that information on what they're going to do later down the road. So what I mean by that is, let's say you have somebody who, up until 2 years ago, vilified black people, was anti-LGBTQ, and was just a general really shitty dude. And then all of a sudden, he has a change of heart and wants to run for president. Well, if you know who I'm talking about Bloomberg. Okay, so people can have changes of heart, no problem. But who are you going to trust more? Are you going to trust the person who changed their mind just a couple of years ago? Or are you going to trust the person who's been consistent? So here's another example. Say you have an option to buy two phones. On one hand, you have a phone that is top of the line, costs quite a bit of money, but you know for a matter of fact that it's going to work very, very well and do what you need it to do. On the other hand, you have a very cheap phone that you can buy very easily. And that cheap phone may be cheap, but they make a lot of promises that moving forward, they're going to be better. However, when you look at their history, the phone has a history of dropping calls, making phone calls just randomly from your phone, leaking your information online, just failing miserably on multiple occasions. What phone are you going to buy? Going to buy the one that's been reliable and is of high quality? Or are you going to buy the cheap one because it's easy to get? I know this is a pretty weird analogy for presidential candidates, but Bernie's the high-quality phone that has a long history of working the way you want it to, and Biden is the easy-to-get Boost mobile phone that has failed several times and doesn't work the way that you want it to. Which one are you going to pick? So it's not about purity per se. This talking point of purity is lazy, recycled, is nonsensical. It's integrity testing. It's testing whether or not, based on past information, the individual that you are backing is somebody who has a proven record of fighting for the things that they say that they're fighting for now. Because you only have two things to go off of: somebody's word or somebody's actions. Voting for somebody who has a long history of taking advantage of the poor, treating minorities poorly, treating women poorly, and treating LGBTQ people poorly is like returning to an abusive relationship. I'm sure some people are going to be mad about this, but the whole point of the Sanders campaign has been enough of this lesser of two evils. Let's vote in somebody who has the integrity to stand up for what he believes in and will try his damnedest to fight for what he believes in. Whereas the Biden campaign is, let's just keep things the way they are. Let's go back to the normal status quo. Well, if you are oppressed under the normal status quo, do you think that you're going to make any substantive improvements to your way of life? Under Trump, you sure as shit aren't. Under Biden, do you think that you're going to actually have somebody in the Oval Office that is going to fight for you? Honestly, somebody who's funded by billionaires, just like everybody else, who has done little to nothing to actually make the world a better place for you. So, call it purity tests. I call them integrity tests. And yeah, if you like this video, you know the thing to do. If you dislike it, you know the thing to do. If you want to hear more, see more, you know the things to do. At this point, if you don't, then okay, boomer.